Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra, extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. We gon' come and see about it. Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra, extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. Find out nothing sweet about it. Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra, extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. We gon' come and see about it. Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra, extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. Find out nothing sweet about it.
Look, mile like 3-6 pulled up, ski trip, cold winter. All my eating good, I remember when we had no dinner. West side, east side, no side, both sides with me. Check, come and check, leaving flex season 12, come and get me. Gil to run around high speed, chasing all the big bags. Bending corners, bending rules, bending necks, Gil the whiplash. Slide through hot knife, warm butter storm, gutter drain lane. Young man, old habit, still at it, tryna let my chain hang. True story, new story, 2-story condo, B&B. 4 bath, 1 me, no key, like I did a B&E. B&Me so good, so hood, so not worried about it. 250,000 new views, old news, know you probably heard about it. Extra, extra, read about it. Headline, word around town, flexing. Ballin' on my course, so I ain't worried about nobody out of bounds, stressing. Feeling like Hercules, murder these ain't a problem to me. Tried to tell the maid service, don't come unless you bringin' condoms to me.
Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra, extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. We gon' come and see about it. Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra, extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. Find out nothing sweet about it. Moving, shaking, coming down, tipping. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping. Moving, shaking, coming down, tipping. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping. Moving, shaking, coming down, tipping. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping. Moving, shaking, coming down, tipping. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping. Ay, ay. Look, I'm too cool for the rules, baby, get off of me. Never need no push, I do it all for me. Keep a couple real hitters, got them on call for me. Money moving, got it in the market where it ought to be. Too true for the flex, baby, don't cap to me. Drop 50, bring 150 right back to me. Keep a couple real hitters, got them on call for me. Money moving, got it in the market where it ought to be. Look, Papa don't preach, teachers don't teach. Gon' reach, that's facts. I ain't worried about none of that. I'm making that cash stack. Bunch of O's like NASCAR, but it's really more like NASDAQ. Why they thinking that they hot when they really more like quarter on me like a referee? Hating what they'll never be. Small top with a big bottom, yeah, shorter shape like a letter D. Let her have it, then I let her be. If you love it, gotta let it grow. Crazy cause you really never know. When I'm hurting, never let it show. I'm a two-tone, 2-phone, 2-chain, new thing, lane whipper. You a broke, low class, no cash, certified lame. I've been getting to it like I ought to. Couldn't pick, so I bought two. Understand why your chick came, I'm just trying to figure why she brought you. I'm really reppin' and I'm flexed up, and I ain't gotta tell him I'm next up. Sleep on the they rest up, but I'm up and I'm getting my checks up. Me and the fellas be high as propellers, ain't could tell us we great. Looking at like how do you figure unless you been talk about 8 figures. I'm too cool for the rules, baby, get off of me. Never need no push, I do it all for me. Keep a couple real hitters, got them on call for me. Money moving, got it in the market where it ought to be. Too true for the flex, baby, don't cap to me. Drop 50, bring 150 right back to me. Keep a couple real hitters, got them on call for me. Money moving, got it in the market where it ought to be. Look how we litty, we turned up the city, we raising the bar height. I been finessing, just look at them stressing, yeah, they been up all night. Sipping this water with somebody's daughter, she take what I taught her and build on it. Came in this game on that today, ain't in a couple years later, we still on it. Be hating on it. Be waiting on it like a new season. I bet an acre on it. I put some paper on it like I'm loose leafing. Buying them assets. Build me a cash net I could fall in. Look at my last bit. Ain't got a tiptoe. I'm all in. Think on a level that can't fail. And I roll me a J with the hate mail. Been doing good on the merch sale. All this bread on me look like a bake sale. Tell her your was really good. I be really good on the jaw jack. Send an email about the bread. I'ma hit you back with the call back. I'm too cool for the rules, baby. Get off of me. Never need no push, I do it all for me. Keep a couple real hitters, got them on call for me. Money moving, got it in the market where it ought to be. Too true for the flex, baby, don't cap to me. Drop 50, bring 150 right back to me. Keep a couple real hitters, got them on call for me. Money moving, got it in the market where it ought to be.
How's everybody doing tonight? Come on in, hit that like button. Let me know where you guys are checking in from. Excuse me. Okie dokie. Let's see what we got here. KC or Philly. I guess that's Monday Night Football. How's everybody doing? I see Devontae, is the Walt, Big Hearn, Corey Jackson, Sharps, Interstate Screw. I see Axel, Big Herm, Andrew Green, Zupchuck, Glenn, representing Harrisburg, PA. New Jersey in the building, never been short. Shout out to everybody that's watching on Facebook. Come on in, hit that like button. Let me know where you guys are checking in from. Taurine Dow's just picked up my uniforms from the embroidery. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. I'm assuming you're starting your business or you're just getting your first set of uniforms, but either way, congratulations. All right, so let's get straight to it. That was an expedited roll call. I kind of want to get straight to it. Tonight it's a holiday weekend. Things are gonna be slow all week. As people are preparing for the holiday. I was at the gym a few hours ago, and usually Mondays at the gym are just jam-packed at about 4 o'clock, and it was empty in there. I could go to any machine I wanted to. I didn't have to wait. It was empty, 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 empty. So people are already maneuvering around, flying back home, or chilling out, taking this week light because Thanksgiving is Thursday. So I'm not gonna hold you guys either. So let's get some things out of the way. Monday nights for the past, let's see, when did the Wise Men start? The Wise Men started in April of this year. April of this year. So May, June, July, August, September, October, November. So for 7 months, we've been doing a Wise Men podcast. We actually took a month off. So we took off August, halfway through August, half of August, and then all the way through half of September. So middle of August through the middle of September, we took off, and then that's when we started season 2. Everything was going good. Season 2 was going really, really well. The numbers had doubled from season 1 as far as live viewer count. It became a hit in the box truck community, at least on YouTube it did. I mean, I don't measure, I can't measure it compared to like other channels that are in niches that are bigger. Box truck community is very small. So to peak out at 130, 140 people watching live on a Monday was good. When I measure it against, other content creators in the space that have more subscribers than me, I see they do about 120. And this was doing maybe like peak box truck, maybe like last year, earlier, mid part of last year when there was still kind of hype around the space. So to do 130, 140 people, live viewers in a chat when this community has kind of tapered off in comparison to where it was when I first came to YouTube last year is pretty good. So built that show up from nothing. You know what I'm saying? It started with me, Kirk, and Axel. And I kind of saw early where the sentiment of the show was going to go. So just being a smart guy that I am, I felt that it was best to remove Axel from the show because I could see that, those, when you're dealing with 3 different people and you got 3 different differences of opinions, you got one guy who's really, a veteran, right? So he's really Americanized. He has his views on America and he has his views on other countries. He has real strong conservative views, right? Then you got, and he's a Caucasian man. And then you got a Jamaican guy who has really strong views, who's an immigrant, right? And then you got a black guy who has strong views, but I can keep my opinion to myself. I'm not as vocal because I'm not an army or vet, so I don't have that mental conditioning that, I'm assuming from the movies and from people that I know who've joined the service and been overseas and come back. They're kind of like pro-America, pro-military, and they have those views, and Kirk has his views, and I got my views, but I was kind of the laid back person. Now, when it comes to, Black history, those views, I kind of will voice my opinion, and I saw that there was going to be differences of opinion, and I saw early that Axel would be in some of those differences and he would have to sit there uncomfortably because he wouldn't be able to say anything. So I said, you know what, if this continues to go on, he's going to have more uncomfortable situations. So I thought it was best to just remove him from the show early on. I talked to him and there was no hard feelings. Obviously, I think he's in the chat now. So we continued on with just me and Kirk. First season, we were kind of feeling our way through things, just toying with different ideas. And I think the first season did pretty good. You know what I'm saying? We're kind of learning each other and how to play off of each other. A lot of the stuff that, we would debate were pre-planned debates. So it wasn't like, we were freestyling the stuff, and then we would just start debating the stuff. They were debates that we knew were going to get heated, and we knew that would drive engagement. But it was like nothing that we're because I don't, I really don't care. You know what I'm saying? Listen, if it's not if it's not affecting my bread, or it's not affecting like people close to me, my family, as far as harm, then I really don't care. I don't care what people say. I don't care about certain things. I care, but I'm not gonna care to the point where I'm carrying a grudge and things like that and upset. It's content. It's conversation. It's hard conversations that you don't see a lot of people having, differences of opinion, and it's just real hard, strong debates. So we went through season one. Season one did pretty good. We took a month off. We brought some guests on season one. We brought the broker on, a few other people. Then we came into season two, September kind of just took off. So I guess that month off, and it's just us doing. Is that my smoke detector? I changed about it. Season two just kind of took off, I guess, after that month off, and us just creating our own content. We took that month off, and season two just kind of took off, and then we doubled our viewership with season two, and season two was lit. The Kiera trucking guru situation happened, which I didn't want to talk about. That's why when it first happened, you didn't see me talk about it. When everybody was covering it that week, I didn't mention it. I didn't mention it because I really didn't care to talk about it. I got DMs and emails and people in the comment asking, could I touch on it? Because people wanted to know what my thoughts were. And the video is still up and people disagree with me. You know what I'm saying? I don't care because I'm not going to just jump down somebody's throat because everybody else is. I'm going to look at the whole situation. I gave myself time to look at the whole situation. I let other people that were in her circle talk to get kind of as much as the facts as possible. And then I came on after the request of people to talk about it. And then I did. I've got people in my comments that say, man, those purses is fake. Why would a scammer buy real purses? And that's like the stupidest shit I ever heard in my life. You know what I'm saying? First of all, I know people that scam for a living. The whole purpose of scamming is to take your money or your credit and go buy stuff with it so that they can sell. And they turn that stuff into cash because they sell it. Whether it's iPhones, they take the stuff to the phone man, clothes, they put it on Poshmark. Why would a person who's stealing someone's credit go buy fake stuff? If you go to the club, and that's why I came up with the whole middle America, because that shit don't even make sense. They're not using their money. Why would they steal your money and your credit to go buy fake stuff? The scammers are the most drippiest people. You go into a club here or anywhere I've been, Atlanta, here, wherever, the scammers are the most drippiest people. They got all the latest stuff. Because there's nothing. They going in there swiping your card. They not paying for it. So, they'll swipe and go purchase stuff, and then they'll put it on Poshmark or Farfetch or one of these consignment websites or whatever, Facebook Marketplace, or they'll sell it on the street. Or they'll take orders, and they dripped out themselves. So when people say, oh, the purses are fake, like worrying about the wrong thing, and then somebody say, oh, well, she's standing in front of a green screen. It's not a green screen. So even with that, we got some flack. Well, I got some flack. Some people agree with what I was saying. Some people disagree. Whatever. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Either way. But there was a situation where a young lady popped up later on in that live stream. Right when we were getting ready to end, she came on. She was talking about the oil. And I was kind of going back and forth with her. And I was doing that just for engagement. It was fun. It was funny. I saw that the chat was engaging. So I was just pushing it for the engagement, for the content. You know what I'm saying? She kind of lost me, to be honest with you, when she said she went to Saudi Arabia. I didn't mention it then. Axel kind of brought it up to me the following day when I was talking to him on the phone. It crossed my mind on the live stream, but the reason why I didn't touch on it and push back when she said that is because I knew that would have ended it, and I wanted to stretch it out a little bit further because the chat was going crazy. But when she said she flew over to Saudi Arabia, anybody that's been over to the Middle East, I can tell you one thing. The men in the Middle East don't talk to women, let alone sit down and do business with them. I've been to the Middle East. I went with my girlfriend at the time, and I remember just sitting in the cab, her asking the Uber driver and the cab driver questions. They would not even respond to her. If she asked them something, they would brush her off, and whatever question she would ask them, they would answer it to me. They would look at me and answer her question. They didn't even look at her. Men over there don't pay women no mind. So when she said that, I kind of knew it was what it was, because like I said, if you've been to Saudi Arabia, men over there don't talk to women. They damn sure not talking to you about business. And that's a fact. That's a fact. So I didn't hit it with the gut punch like I would normally do because I wanted to stretch it out. You know what I'm saying? For content purpose. But yet still people pushing back in the comments thinking that shit was like, thinking what she was saying was factual. You see what I'm saying? So after that, I kind of left it alone. I was over in the screen doing something else, looking some stuff up. I was listening, but I really wasn't paying attention. Her and Kirk started going back and forth. I could hear they was going back and forth, but I wasn't really paying no mind. And then they got into it kind of really, really bad. The next day we did the drop the link. We usually do drop the link after we have maybe like a, I don't want to say like a controversial show, but maybe something that's, you know, we left open and people may have strong differences of opinion. So unlike other people, we give people an opportunity to come up and voice their grievances if they have any. And the young lady returned. The situation between me and her was just business, just differences of opinion for business. So it's not something that, you know, a person will hold a grudge. But I think she felt a certain type of way about the engagement between her and Kirk. The reason I'm going through this, because I'm just putting everything into context, because I haven't talked to Kirk. Kirk hasn't called me back. He hasn't responded to any of my text messages. So I'm just putting things into perspective. So on the Drop the Link show, they kind of went back and forth again. And in fairness, you know, the Drop the Link show was for people to express their grievances. She had a grievance, right? So I said my piece with her. Her and Kirk were going back and forth, but then I had to kind of get in the middle and mediate it because I didn't want to have a repeat of the previous day, right? Because it was just going to be redundant at that point and digressive, and I just kind of wanted it to move forward. You state your piece, end of it. You know, I didn't want to go. So it got to the point where I don't remember who went first or whatever, but I remember one point I gave Kirk the floor. I think she was quiet. Then when she had the floor, I think Kirk was interjected, so I had to kind of mute him so that she could get her stuff off. And then when she got her stuff off, I kind of opened it up for them to dialogue. I kind of mediated again, like, yo, blah, blah, Skippy. At some point in there was a video that had came out earlier that day from another channel that threw some shots at myself, Kirk, and a few other content creators in the space. I went back and forth with that guy last year. I'm not going back and forth with him this year. I'm just not going to do it. For what? I'm not going to recycle the same stuff. So, but that came out early, and there was a guy that was in the live stream in the chat, that dropped the link chat, that put a comment over there, geared towards me and Kirk. I guess there was kind of a negative comment, and he called us weird. Mark and Kirk are weird, something to that effect. So, you know, when I seen him in the chat, I questioned him on it. Told him, man, you want to come up and talk about it? You know, I'm curious to know what's going on. He said, no, Mark, I apologize. It really wasn't geared towards you. It was more towards Kirk. When a person tell me, when I approach a person and I question them and they apologize, to me, it's nothing left. He apologized. So I'm done with it. But he was in the chat. To me, listen, I don't really worry about what people say behind a computer keyboard. That's because that's as far as it's going to go. It's behind the keyboard. I can't worry about a keyboard warrior. All right. So I left it alone. I think Kurt, from watching the playback, Kurt was really upset. He said, these guys, we give them free information, we give them good information, and they go behind our back to other channel and talk about us like dogs. And that's fine. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I can't worry about people going to say things and they're going to do things and say another thing. Listen, I don't worry about what people say. I don't care. Because it's not putting any money in my pocket. But Kirk felt the type of way about it. And he went off. For those people that were there that day, he went off. Not towards me, but not towards me, but to the people that was in the audience, because I think that person kind of triggered feelings that he was already feeling. Because we see things, and me, I don't mind helping somebody come and getting free information. If they come on my channel and they get something that can help them, and then they go talk down on me somewhere else, to me, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? But Kirk felt a certain type of way. And I guess he don't want to do content, the Wiseman, no more. Now, it would have been nice if he would have let me know that, personally, and that would have been fine. I called him the next day like I normally do. No answer. Text him a few times. No response. Called him the following day. No answer. No response. Still haven't heard from him. It's been about 2 weeks now. So last week I kind of left it open-ended. That's why I still did the Wiseman thumbnail. I just put him in the shadow, giving him time, to kind of collect his thoughts, because I didn't know where his head was at. I watched the live stream from yesterday. I watched it, and he said what he said. It'd have been nice if he would have let me know on that. You know what I'm saying? That would have been cool. We don't have an issue, but just hey, this is how I feel. I bet. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. So Wiseman is over with. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna archive those 2 seasons. They'll still be up for your viewing pleasure. But I thought about it. I was gonna go just to the Wiseman and blah blah blah. But I'm not gonna do it. It became a good show with me and him. So I think it's just only right that I just did it. And it was 2 good seasons. I think we got to like episode 13, somewhere in the teens of season 2. So I can say that was a full season. I was going to take it to the end of the year. I was going to end season 2 like right around New Year's and take a month off and then come back with season 3 around February. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I can't, people going to have difference of opinion. People going to look at things different. Me, when you doing content on the internet, people going to have their feelings towards you. You got people, listen, I got a dude bucking at me that live in my city for no reason at all. And the only thing I do is come on here on YouTube and help people, give free information. But yet and still somebody want to challenge me. You see what I'm saying? And I don't do nothing. I'm out here. I don't got no trucking, whatever, what's that thing that lady was doing? Turnkey trucking. I don't got none of that stuff. I do my little live streams. I put out a video maybe once or twice a month. I do my little live streams. I answer questions. I put together presentations, and I go on about my business. But yet and still, when you're on a public platform, people are going to have opinions about you. You know what I'm saying? Some people are going to be more vocal about them. Some people are going to say it behind the curtains. Some people are going to be keyboard warriors. But this is, you accept that when you come into on a public platform, people are going to say shit. And, you got to have a really tough exterior. Now, that's something that the lady asked me on that live stream. She said, Mark, I watch you. I want to know how did you develop such a tough exterior? And if you remember that last stream when she asked me that, I'm like, man, like I couldn't really answer the question because one, no one has never asked me nothing like that, and two, I've never really thought of myself like that. But I think I came up rough. You know what I'm saying? So, signifying Jones and shit like that started at an early age. You had to know how to do it in order to get to school and survive because kids are rough. They're cruel, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So words don't really affect me. Words don't really affect me. It doesn't bother me. Sometimes I know I'm going to say things that are going to tick people off. I know this. I know that I'm arguing with a guy and a girl last week about cost per mile, and it's a simple equation. But you got one person telling me you should include your house bills, your car note, your kids' tuition, and all that stuff in your cost per mile. Then I got another person telling me fixed and variable costs ain't the most important cost in your cost per mile equation. Your fuel is. And I'm in my head, I'm looking like fuel is under variable. This person done create a whole nother category, and this is what I gotta go back and forth with. So I understand that, which goes back to why I don't do mentorship and never did mentorship. Early on, when I started YouTube, maybe after like 4 months or so, I thought about it. It crossed my mind. But I'm glad I didn't do it. Because if I'm giving free information, something basic is cost per mile, and I'm getting pushed back on a simple equation that I'm giving for free that I took my time to do. Imagine if I charged somebody $5,000 or $10,000 for a mentorship, and I gave great information, similar information that I give for free, and they pay me and they don't succeed. Imagine the pushback I get then. So this is why I don't do it. It's not worth it to me. I don't need the money. I damn sure don't need the headache because people give me headache about a simple formula. Cost divided by miles driven equals cost per mile. Simple. Cost divided by miles driven, not miles driven. You got people that divide the miles into the cost. No. X divided by Y equals Z. Y equals miles. Well, Mark, they don't understand that equation. Well, if you don't understand that equation, if you don't understand an equation that is going to help you determine what loads you should or shouldn't take, then and I'm giving this for free. Right? So one thing I'm not going to do, I'm not going to let nobody run me off nowhere. Shit. The only thing motherfucker going to do if they fucking with me is make me turn up even more. All right? So I'm just going to turn up more. You see what I'm saying? So it's it. I'm going to take this little week, chill out, Thanksgiving, kick it with the fam, and then I'll just come back and turn up. But Wise Men, it's a wrap, man. I don't know. I ain't talked to Kurt. He ain't hit me back. So I called him for 2 days, sent him 2 days worth of text. That's it. That's 1 day more than what I would normally do. But I rock with Kurt, and I so I don't know. I wish him the best, and that's it. I'm probably not going to do any more collaborations going forward. I've tried collaborations. When you got people that you're meeting on, and this ain't geared towards Kurt. I don't have no issues with Kurt. This is just in general. I've tried it before, and it's just when you got people that come from different walks of life, they grew up different. Your background may be different from their background. Your skill set may be different from their skill set. Your education level may be different from their education level. What I'm seeing, and this ain't geared towards Kurt. I'm just saying because I've done other shit before. Me and Kurt didn't have any clashes. I think Kirk's whole decision on why he left is geared more towards the audience. He said that out of his own mouth. My thing is, I wish he would have just had a conversation with me. You see what I'm saying? But just in general, when I'm looking at this, the state of this space, I think this community, since it's small and it's tight knit, I think it would be dope if everybody worked together. I've tried to work with people, but it's just people got their own views and opinions, and their way of doing things, and and when you have people that come from different walks of life, man, it's just not going to clash. Like, I'm not trying to be the top dog. I really could give a damn less. This shit don't pay no money. It costs me money to do this shit. I spend more money on this shit than YouTube pays. I hope these people ain't thinking like, oh, they get a certain amount of subscribers, they're going to be a gazillionaire. I'm here to tell you, Charlie, no, you're not. This shit ain't no money. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? It costs me money. I pay for the thumbnails. I pay for the license, the music that you hear at the beginning. All that shit costs money. All right. So yeah. So wise men ain't no more of that. So with now this whole internet back and forth, I'm not finna do that either. My content speaks for itself. People take my information, they apply it, and it works. You know what I'm saying? And that's proven. So, I don't know why everybody's concerned with me. I put the bread up. Ain't nobody took the challenge. People want to challenge me. I said, all right, I accept the challenge. 10 grand. And this is all I hear. I'm still hearing crickets. So I don't really do the talking. I let the money talk for me, and then winner takes all. So if a person shoot a shot at me, just make sure when you shoot the shot, you shoot it with the bag of money too. If you ain't bringing a bag, then I ain't really got time for it. Because my information is great. I think the way that I present my content, I think it's digestible, right? My strategies, when people apply them, they work. And I think that's all that matters. To try to drag somebody for whatever reason that's doing nothing but helping people, that's doing something positive, to me, I just really don't understand that, or why people even are concerned with other grown men that aren't doing anything wrong but helping people. So on that note, I'm done with that. I want to talk about market corrections. All right. So market corrections, market resets, and that's basically what's going on, contrary to popular belief. And this goes back. See, this is going to be one of those things where people are going to get upset. But I've been reiterating the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And I think just some people just can't comprehend a market. The trucking market, the spot market is no different from any other market. It's boom and bust. Like, I don't care what nobody says. The reason why I can sit here confidently, right, and make my forecast is because I understand the economy. I understand economics, I understand economics. So it don't matter, the theories that people make up in their head. None of that shit matter. It all boils down to economics. Supply and demand. Supply is very, very high. The capacity would be equal to supply. Capacity is space. Truck space, that's capacity, which would be equal to supply, right? Because you are supplying a service. You are supplying your vehicle, right? Demand. Demand is when people go out and buy. You saw an overabundance of demand during the pandemic. You see far less demand now, but you saw an overabundance of people coming to the space, which raised capacity. Capacity was able to meet the demand during the pandemic. When demand goes up, so does prices. When demand goes down, prices go down. Let me make it even simpler. You go into a store, Target, Walmart, I don't care. You pick your choice. They order a specific shirt for summer season, a short sleeve shirt. They order X amount of these short sleeve shirts. The order comes in April, short sleeve t-shirt. It sits on the shelf. They sell through it April, May, June, July, August, September, right? Now, October comes around, the weather starts to shift. They get a delivery in September of that same shirt in long sleeve. Why? Because let's say this is a Walmart in a cold city, Chicago, and now they're transitioning their summer section, right? Or wardrobe or whatever out, and they're transitioning to a fall winter selection, I should say, right? So now they need space, right? No one's going to buy all these short sleeve, whatever, logo tees in the wintertime, right? So what happens when they have this oversupply of short sleeve shirts that they don't want to take an end cap up? They don't want to use it on a table, right? Because they don't have the space, because they need that table space for the supply of long sleeve shirts. What do? They mark the t-shirts down. They put them on sale. It's similar to demand going down and trucking rates go down. Just think about the rates just going on sale to the shipper. So if you're a shipper and you were shipping goods, let's say during the pandemic, you would be paying a higher rate then than you would be paying now. So to a shipper, it's like you're having a sale right now. Same thing. So boom, they put the shirts on sale. They're $10. Now they put them down for 20%. Now they're $8. They take 20% off. They're $8. They sell a few of them, but now they're not selling many. Now they drop it down to 40% off. Now they're $6. They still got a bunch. So now they just put them on clearance. They throw them on a clearance shelf. They mark them down 75, 90%. They take 90% off. So now you got these t-shirts, they're going for $1, and then they sell out of them. Supply and demand. The demand isn't there for the short sleeve t-shirt because it's winter. It's 10 degrees outside. People are coming in. They're looking for thermals. They're looking for gloves. They're looking for long sleeve logo tees, long sleeve logo thermal tees. They're not even paying attention to this short sleeve graphic t-shirt. Let's get it out of here. It's taking up too much space. Throw it on clearance, 90% off. Get them out the door. So when people make up these, I don't know where they get these, whatever it is. I don't even, it's for words you can place on it, theories that people are going to still buy and there's going to be an overabundance of volume just because it's holiday. It's not true. There's going to be people spending money. But not like you would normally see people spend money at Christmas, right? And if the demand is slightly lower, let's say slightly lower, but your supply is extremely high, how are rates going to go through the roof when there's an over surplus of trucks capacity willing to take runs? It's I don't know how much any more ways I could simplify it. I really don't. But yet and still people want to challenge me. And here we are, it's week of Black Friday. And every weekend I get emails of people going out of business. Every weekend. I gotta get emails and DMs of people telling me they giving up. Every weekend. It don't fail. This weekend included. So I think if people will educate themselves on business, and I say this all the time, but it goes in one ear and out the other. Listen, I'm a cool person. Out of 20,000 subscribers, I got 2 subscribers that DM me or message me daily. Eager for information, 2. One hits me up on WhatsApp and one hits me up in Instagram. And I always respond to them. And I got a backlog of people that's waiting on a response. But those 2 guys, they're my favorites because they're eager to learn. I never charge them for a coaching session. Whatever they ask me, I tell them. Because they're eager to learn. They get that it's a business. And that's what I always tell people. Listen, you got to understand business. Take this personal, emotional, whatever it is, out of the equation. And this is why I'm going to stop going back and forth with people too. Because when people want to argue me about cost per mile, when the formula is simple, cost divided by miles driven equals CPM, and people want to argue with me and tell me that you got to put your house bills and your fucking car note and your goddamn children's tuition on this dumb shit in your cost per mile, what the hell does that, how does your house bills, I don't even know how to say it because it don't make sense. How does your house bill and your personal car note cost you to operate your truck? Cost per mile. What it costs you to run your truck per mile. So how does your mortgage or your rent cost you by mile to run your truck? No, you got to include that in there. What? I mean, if you don't believe me, it's right in the comment section of the video. But they want to argue with me, the college graduate. And the guy who did this for 13 and a half years. You want to argue with a 13 and a half year vet and a college graduate, bachelor's college graduate in business. I took economics 101. I took all my liberal arts economics courses. And you want to argue with me. And then you wonder why you failing. No, you're failing because that's why you failing. One, you don't do a simple little research to educate yourself. Listen. And this is why you get taken advantage of. But people get drawn into the bullshit. I don't have time for bullshit. It's just not worth my time. It's just not. So I'm going to start ignoring just even some of the most idiotic stuff. I don't have time for it. Somebody said, Mark, you ain't got no patience. I don't. That's why I say don't come to me for Googleable stuff. Because if you I'm not Google. I'm not going to do the work for you. If it's Googleable, Google it. Come to me for strategy, advanced information. If it's Googleable, go Google it. You know how easy it would be for me to create a course on some Googleable shit and just sell it to you for $30? Simple. I don't want to do that because I don't want it. I don't need it. Listen, tools and fuse. I don't need tools and fuse. I don't care for it. Just go do that Google shit yourself. Come to me when you ready to, yo, Mark, I'm failing. Here go my books. man, where's the mistake being at? We're gonna go through your books. We're gonna deep dive through your books. But a lot of people don't come to me like that. I had one or two people come to me in that situation. You know why a lot of people don't come to me with that situation? Because they don't keep their books. They don't keep their books. We've displayed that just off the testimonial show. You watch testimonials one by one. It's to the point now, I don't think I ever do another testimonial show. I don't think nobody want to step up to the plate. How you think I made it 13 and a half years and was able to exit on top? I didn't make it all those years through not knowing what was coming in or going out. And trust me, we had some tumultuous times. 2017 was rough for the kid. I got into something that I had no idea what I was doing. I was learning. I just had a lot of money, and I had another business, the moving company, that was able to float my trucking company, my final mile company. When I got into cross docking and I'm running my own warehouse now, I got the freight coming to me. Man, they don't pay me every 2 weeks. I told y'all, I was getting that money the next year. That was 8 months behind in my settlements. I didn't recoup that money until the following year, 2018. 2017 was rough. Rough. I had a patch in 2015 that was rough. 2016 was great. 2014 was great. 2015 was pretty much great, but I had a small little patch, but then we recovered. I did some delayed gratification. I moved some things around. I looked for other opportunities. I sourced other opportunities. And we got it cracking. I remember the Christmassy contract that I talked about. We actually lost that contract for a Christmas or two because I got into it with the owners. And that year or two that we lost it, those two Christmases, I realized how much I missed that contract for that one little week. That 1 week of delivering Christmas trees was an easy 10 grand. Just for delivering Christmas trees 1 week, 10 grand. So after those 2 years, I ended up, I swallowed my pride. I think it was 2016. I reached out to him, sent him an email, and we discussed our differences, and they brought me back on, brought my company back on, and then we ran until they went out of business in 2017, 2018. And they did the what was that song by Buddy down in Texas when he was running from the law? I'm trying to beat a case. They did the race on the kid. They didn't just do the race on me. They did a race on all the contractors that was delivering trees, because this was a national company. So they did a money grab. They knew that they was going under. So that's what's called a money grab. They knew they was going under. They ran this last holiday season. They didn't have any intentions on paying anybody. Even some customers got screwed. Some customers that ordered trees didn't even get their trees. So it was unfortunate, but that's business. To this day, they still owe me $11,000. And this was 2018. That was a unforeseen situation. So guess what? That was Christmas of 2017, 2018. We ran. So I was expecting that 11,000. First week of December, okay, boom. It cost me $4,000 to run that contract. So we were making 60% profit, right? That contract didn't cost that much. Why? Because the trees were brought to me, right? And they were all in the city. You know what I'm saying? It was a simple run. The guys got paid really well. And it was just the margins were really good on those trees. But guess what? I ended up having to pay my crews to deliver those trees. What it cost for me as far as fuel To deliver those trees, we're running 3 trucks. We had to deliver 700 trees in 5 days. They're live trees, so you can't pussyfoot around with it. The trees come in pretty much frozen. They're coming from the tree farm, so it's still like little snow and frozen, but they're sitting in my warehouse, right? So now they're unthawing. We got to get them out so that they can get in water. So we got 5 days to do it. You get to the delivery, the driver or the helper cuts a 1/2 inch off the bottom of the tree, right? Cuts that 1/2 inch off the bottom trunk of the tree, right? So when it goes into the stand and water, it can take water in. That's 11 grand I never got. Never got it. So that was a setback. So right before Christmas, I had to come out of my pocket, the company's pocket, 4 grand. And guess what? The tips for those guys were included in the app. Customers tip. I had drivers like, man, what about my tip? Listen, I'm going to pay you, you know what I'm saying, what, we agreed upon as far as the pay to do this project, but I'm not covering the tips. They didn't pay me. I'm paying you from the company. My company is paying this. This is a loss for me. This is a $4,000 loss. It's $11,000 loss, but it's costing us $4,000. We're not going to profit. So that was a setback. That was right before Christmas. It's business. But guess what? Guess what Mark's business had? Cash flow. You know what Mark's business had? Cash flow to take that hit right before Christmas? Because my books are balanced. I don't rob from the sustainability of the business. Never have. Why? Because the last thing I need a person running around the city of Chicago saying, man, Mark didn't pay us. When Rob came up here, he said, Mark is an asshole. He's mean. He's rough. He's tough. But one thing, he going to pay you that money. He pays good too. So business, trucking, restaurant, being a restaurateur, landscaping, I don't care what business that you're in. You have to treat it like a business. There's certain basic fundamentals that I think everybody that's getting into a business should know or educate themselves on. But what I'm not going to do is sit up here and, invest my time, to helping people, right? I don't care about, challenges. But if you're on the new, how can you challenge somebody on the new and then you challenges, your challenge don't even make sense? I'm not finna do that shit. I'm not doing it. I'm just going to ignore from here on out. Just not going to do it. I'm actually thinking about, even with my coaching, because I don't do it that much anyway, I'm thinking about just turning that off. Because I'm getting people I can't really understand their English, you're getting I'm getting a lot of foreigners and just younger people who I don't think mentally their mind is really there. I think they have big dreams and have no idea. I think they have big dreams and no idea because when I just sit and listen, I can tell, like, I can listen to somebody and be like, nah, he ain't gonna make it. That delayed gratification that I talked about the other day, that's killing a lot of people. That and lack of educating yourself in this space or in just business in general. You got to stay down till you come up. Like the margin is not that big. It's not. Well, Mark, how did you do it? Mark started with a moving company. The margins are huge. Mark didn't start a trucking company. Mark started a moving company. Started with a moving company with huge margins. You don't pay for anything. You make money off the labor. You make money off the equipment. You even charge the customer for the truck. So when Mark started a separate company, Final Mile, I already had a company that had a shit ton of money already. And when I started Final Mile back in the day, I was an early adopter. Listen, when I tell you the rates that we were getting back then are the same rates that people are doing it today, I swear to God, it's the same rates. The rates ain't changed. Everything around the rates have changed. And they've gone that way. So people running Final Mile 700, 800, that's what we was getting 2012, 2013. I swear to God. But it only cost $10 for labor an hour. Fuel was $2 something a gallon. Insurance wasn't as high as it is today. If you wanted to rent a truck, a 26-footer was $450 a week. They'd give you 1,000 or 1,500 free miles. You didn't have to put no deposit, none of that stuff down. 12 cents a mile. Like everything was cheaper. If you wanted to go buy you a truck, you can go get you a used 26-foot box truck that was maybe 4 or 5 years old for $25,000. Now with inflation, 10 years down the line, now with inflation, that $25,000 is equal to about $45,000 now. But remember the key thing that I said, the rates are the same. I'm speaking of on Final Mile. So when I tell people that, you would think a person would take that into consideration and go to the drawing board and crunch the numbers. Then I talk about people having box truck dreams and cargo van money. A lot of people that listen to me, they came to me, or they still come to me. They're like, man, that box truck dream, cargo van money speech you gave, that touched me. I listened to that live stream, and it's like, you know how many people came to me? It's like you was talking directly to me, because I was trying to figure out how I was going to make this happen with the money that I have in the box truck. And they come to me and they say, thank you. I had to be honest with myself. I don't have the money to own and operate a box truck. When you said if you got just enough money, that's not enough money, that hit my soul. Because I never thought about working capital. I didn't even know what working capital was until you said it and then explained what it was. I thought, man, I'm looking at it like, man, I got $15,000. It's going to cost this much for the truck. It's going to cost this much to get my insurance. It's going to cost this much to get my authority, blah, blah, Skippy. So all in, I'm pretty much tapped out, but I got my box truck business. I didn't even know or think that you had to have money set to the side. These are things that people tell me. So I listen to that. I go get the cargo van. Now I got enough to get into a space on a smaller scale, learn, and I have working capital, and I can work my way up from there. Why? Why do I say this to people? Because I know what people are working with. I'm not going to sell nobody a dream. I know a lot of people don't have the money to get into the box truck. And that's why I say, listen, you got box truck dreams, but you got cargo van money. And the people that I speak to that listen, it touches them, and they go back to the drawing board. and they change their plans to fit their budget. But then you're going to have some people like, nah, man, don't listen to him. Just make it work. Those are the people that's struggling and failing. There's nothing wrong with starting humbly. Nothing. Nothing wrong with starting from humble beginnings. It's better to start that way. There's nothing wrong with failure either. But you want to give yourself a fighting chance. There's a lot of people that's entering into the space. They're not even giving themselves a fighting chance. It's a market. It's boom and bust. Goes up, it goes down. Everything that's going on right now in the trucking market is healthy. What do you mean it's healthy, Mark? It's healthy. This is what we call healthy. It's supposed to occur. It's just like the stock market or any other market, the housing market. When the housing market crashed in 2008, it had to happen. Why? Because of that shit that the bank had going on, all that balloon shit. In order for the housing market to correct itself, it had to crash and start over. Now, don't get it twisted. It's how the rich get richer. But yet and still, every market goes through cycles, boom and bust. Right? And right now we're in a bust cycle. It's correcting itself. It's fixing itself. All right. And in the process of fixing itself, it's shaking out all the fat meat. It's carving off all the fat meat. It's carving off all the excess capacity. It's just like if you get an infection in your body fights off the infection. Your body is correcting itself. Same thing with the trucking market. Same thing with the housing market, the stock market. What happened in 2020 when all those stocks were inflated? We've had this conversation before. When that crash came, it came. And those that were naive got caught left holding the bag. Why? Because for the same reason of the trucking, those rates that were happening in the pandemic for trucks, it wasn't normal. We know why the rates were high. I'm not going to go into it. Those prices of those stocks during the 2020 bubble, that wasn't normal. Why were those stocks high? Because people were sitting at home. People had an over surplus of money due to stimulus, and they were gambling. So stock prices went up because people were sitting at home and they were playing the stock market. There's no reason I should have bought CCIV at $18 and was able to sell it at $60. They hadn't even put a car out yet. Lucid hadn't even had a car out yet. And I made an egregious amount of money off a stock that hadn't even produced a car yet. They're on their way to $100 a share. Unheard of. Some of y'all probably don't know what I'm talking about. But the point is when the stock market was overinflated, it went through a correction. It crashed. A lot of people lost money. But it had to correct itself because a lot of those companies didn't deserve the valuation that they were put at. It's business. It's not personal. So this is healthy. It has to happen. So when people say, I've seen a multitude of people across different platforms say, people don't want you guys running. I'm retired, so I could give a damn less. But I do want the people that subscribe to me to win. And to be honest, a good seasoned business owner, you do want to shake off the fat meat. You want the fat meat to get carved off. It's going to be better for the space. And the market is doing that right now. The market is going to always correct itself. Every market is going to always correct itself. It's just a matter of time. You have to be a smart business owner to understand when something's not normal so that you know how to move. Remember what I said. When people are greedy, be fearful. When people are fearful, be greedy. People are in fear now. I'm greedy right now. I'm greedy. I'm buying up everything I can get my hands on. Because I know it's a bull market coming in some of my other investments. Why? Because these markets are cyclical. You just have to understand the cycle. I understand the cycles. When people were greedy during the pandemic, I was fearful. That's why I set a plan to divest and get out while it was at the top. Or I'd have been screwed right now with a bunch of assets that I wouldn't have been able to sell because people don't have any money, and I still wouldn't have had people to work for me. So I took advantage when people were greedy. I was fearful. It's the reverse. So when I sit up here and I say stuff, I don't worry when people challenge me because I know I'm going to always be the victor. Always. You know why? Listen, I lead with my brain. I don't lead with my emotions. I don't let my emotions speak for me. Emotions will destroy you in business. You can have passion, but you should never get emotional in business. Emotion is going to cause you to make irrational and bad decisions. You educate yourself. You educate yourself. As long as you got the knowledge and you got the understanding, makes you a dangerous individual. Everything that I've told people was going to happen has happened. And to the people that challenged me, I put my bag up. And nobody came and took the challenge. Are there going to be brighter days? Of course. But there's still an overabundance of capacity. I actually saw an article before I came on live. Freight Waves was talking about here where they talk about how they're saying we are in a recession. And they kind of talk about a lot of the stuff that I talk about. Someone recently said that my channel or Kirk's channel and my channels have become doom and gloom. And clearly Freight Waves has gotten the same sentiment from their viewers. And I like the way that they kind of responded. I kind of ignored it when the guy said it to us a week or two ago. But trust me, if there was good news on the horizon, I would bring forth good news. I don't think that the news that's been going on is bad. I think it's healthy. I think it needs to happen so that smart, successful, smart truckers, smart box truckers can prosper. In order for you to see brighter days, the fat meat has to get carved off. You have to go through this cycle. So I just want to touch on this really quick. I just want to read some of it. Since launching in 2017, FreightWaves team of award-winning reporters has covered the good and the bad news events in the transportation logistics industry. In those years, the freight transportation market has enjoyed prosperous times and periods of pain and misery. The freight market undergoes boom and bust cycles. I always talk about that. Like all commoditized industries. FreightWaves Sonar correctly predicted the start of the drop in the freight market in March of 22. Then the overcapacity spurred by the pandemic has caused freight hauling rates to drop to 2019 levels or worse. For the past 18 plus months, there have simply been too many trucks for too little freight. Overcapacity, low volume. I talk about it all the time. However, the impact has gone beyond U.S. trucking fleets and freight brokerages. The problems are not confined to the United States or just trucking. Ocean carriers, railroads, air cargo carriers, freight forwarders around the world have been impacted as well. No one at FreightWaves enjoys reporting bad news. Me either. One of our followers on X recently commented, everything you post, repost, or talk about is doom and gloom. I challenge you to find something positive about the economy pertaining to the trucking industry. I would love to do so. Unfortunately, the good news in freight transportation and logistics has been sparse. After the market began to prove FreightWaves on a downturn prediction, some analysts and industry experts said the freight slowdown was a reversion to the mean. Unfortunately, it is not. We are in one of the worst downturns in freight market history, caused by a massive buildup of capacity, and it's going to take time to burn it all off. Simply put, the freight market is experiencing a severe recession. FreightWaves has an obligation to report that news. Since early in 2022, many companies have gone out of business or severely cut back by letting employees go. Some of those companies were household names in the industry, such as Yellow Corp and Convoy. Many others were such smaller, not known perhaps beyond the headquarters location. Nonetheless, the bankruptcies, closures, and layoffs have piled up, and the financial and human losses have taken a toll. I'm just going to read this last little excerpt. The following synopses are some of the articles that FreightWaves has published in the past year that illustrate the poor freight economy. Full article can be read in the following links, blah, 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 blah. And then they just listed some of the key bankruptcies and shutdowns from recent back to when the market started to collapse last year. These are just bigger highlighted companies. Obviously, we know that in between these large, well-known companies, there's a bunch of independent owner operators and smaller fleet companies that have bitten the dust as well. But even with these companies that you've known and heard of, and all the independent small owner operators and small fleet owners that are in between, there's still a lot of overcapacity. Like, the pandemic ushered in a lot of people, man. A lot of people. You know, I would have thought that a lot of that fat meat would have been cut off, a big portion of it. But even with the people in the exodus at this same time last year, because that was the first exodus, and then you had people coming out all throughout the year, and now we're going through another exodus right now that's going to go into Q1. They're still saying it's still a lot of capacity. It's a lot. So I'm in agreement with them. Like, if there was good information, I would love to report it. But you have to report what's available. And I think people just need to accept the information and the forecast so they know how to plan their business accordingly moving forward. All right. If I was getting this information and I were coming into the space within the past year, 2 or 3 years, I would buckle down. I would take this information and buckle down. It's about holding on. It's about riding the wave out. Delayed gratification. I wouldn't be doing shit. I would be running my truck to the best, at max, the best of my ability to max out as much as I can week in and week out. And I would be delaying my gratification. I would be 100% delaying my gratification. This is not a time for celebration. I can't tell people what to do. I can only tell you what I've done. I didn't go on any trips from 2010 until 2015. I went on one wedding in Vegas in 2012. But even at my peak in 2014, I didn't take a trip. I was too busy working. I was too busy getting to the money. My girl forced me to go on a trip in 2015. So for 5 years, I built. I had to get on one of my homies yesterday. I'm not going to get into his business because I don't know, he watches sometimes. But me and another one of my homies, we had to hold him accountable on a conference call. Listen, you got to get shit in order. You doing this goofy shit. You can't be doing this goofy shit. Yo, your priorities ain't taken care of, bro. You doing this shit over here. No, you ain't in a position to do that. Not right now, you ain't. Listen, I know it's a bull run coming. I ain't doing shit. Every single excess money I have is going out into the field. It's working for me right now. I keep enough money in my account right now for my bills and a little play money that ain't really play money because I ain't playing. I'm trying to run up some M's next year. And that's no cap. I'm not playing around. I don't have a savings account. For what? All my money is working. My money is out working. It's in brokerages. I told you what my brokerages were last week. I don't keep money in the bank for what? My money is in the market working because it's giving me a better return. So I don't have time. What I'm gonna go spend? I was gonna go to Jamaica for Christmas. What, that little $5,000-$6,000, man? I can throw that in Render. I could throw that in Fetch AI. AI is booming right now. I made $2,900 yesterday off Fetch AI. It retraced a little bit today, but I'm still up on the day. Made 29 yesterday. Just one day off of one play. Me and Axel was talking on the phone yesterday. I sent them one of my plays yesterday where I made 500. I sent them the screenshot off a play. And then he started sending me some screenshots of some stocks. I'm not playing around out here, man. My money working for me. You got to know how to play the game. I'm trying to run up an egregious bag in 2024, like I do every year. I'm just trying to run up a nasty one because I know the bull run coming, and when the bull run comes, I have to make sure I have enough money invested so that I can make that type of money. So I'm steady dumping money in. Delayed gratification. I'm not doing shit. Man, you going to this Thanksgiving party? Nope. You going to this Christmas party? Nope. I'm about my niece shit, I'm about my brother shit, I'm about my mama shit. If this girl keep acting crazy, she ain't getting shit. I'm gonna buy myself something, and then that's it. Everything else is going into the market. Delayed gratification. New Year's Eve, what you doing in the house? Why? Because if I go to Vegas or something, that's gonna be thousands of dollars, and I can throw that in the Ethereum. Because Ethereum expected to do 10 grand, and it's right now it's at 2. So I could throw that 5 and turn that 5 into 10. Delayed gratification. And then once the bull run is over and it goes parabolic, and then I pull back my profits as I take my profits to the top, then I'll play. Right, because the market tanking, I took my profits out and I'm looking for the next play, but I worked so hard for the past year investing, moving money and shit like that. I'm going to take a little break. Now it's time to go play. But right now I'm working. I'm delaying my gratification for about a year because every single thing needs to go in, because every single penny counts. Delayed gratification. So it's business, man. Gotta run your business like a business. Don't turn off the coaching yet, Mark. I'm gonna do this. This one I'm gonna do. I don't know if it's gonna be Black Friday or Cyber Monday. I'm gonna do 50% off. I'm gonna do 50% off my website. So that's coaching, and those my coaching 50% off, and then my business plan, the business plan, how to create the business plan 50% off, how to start the box truck 50% off. And the 5 stages to growth 50% off. So everything's gonna be 50% off. I don't know if I'm gonna do a Black Friday. I don't know if I'm gonna do a Cyber Monday. I don't know if I'm gonna do it both days. I don't know if I'm gonna let it run for the whole weekend. I haven't decided yet, but I'm gonna do that. So it'll be 50% off. So if you've always wanted to, or that would be the time. So I'm letting you know now. Let's see. I'm going to answer a few questions. Oh, let's talk about the Black Friday and the Cyber Monday. So I think I already gave the play for Black Friday. Cyber Monday, cargo van, small box truck, TVs. You have to understand your competitive advantage when you're dealing with the apps. A lot of your competition on those apps are going to be people in their personal vehicles, cars, and whatnot. If you have a cargo van or a box truck, maybe like a 16-footer, you need to take advantage of Roadie with Walmart, GoShare, because they have Costco. They're going to have that 86-inch for $8.99. They already got it on sale right now for their Black Friday for $8.99. That 86-inch LG. Best Buy, which is going to be on Roadie. No, not Best Buy. Yeah, Best Buy. Best Buy is going to be on... No, Walmart is going to be on Roadie. And then Best Buy, you want to probably put an ad up. Make sure your thumbtack is good, because those people, I'll be looking on thumbtack to get somebody to transport that 86-inch for them. It's just not going to fit in the car. It's not going to fit in the car. It's just not. So make sure you got your cargo van. That day you want to be up early, up bright and early, 5:30, 6 a.m. All right, because you're going to start seeing those orders popping in. Fanatics pays exceptionally well on Black Friday. And then the process is going to repeat Cyber Monday. Don't even count out Amazon Flex. Make sure you guys have that too. Friday is going to be one of those days where you need to be up very early and you need to come in very late. There's no restrictions on your cargo van. You're not under the compliance of a box truck. So there's no reason you should be out there at 5, 6 o'clock a.m. until your heart's desire. You need to take advantage of the situation, because it only comes around once a year. I've showed screenshots of some of the routes and rates last year, and it was crazy. So it's going to be the same this year. So make sure you take advantage of that opportunity. It only comes around once. Yeah. Yep. So I'll take some questions. Mark, so is it better to invest rather than let the money sit? In my opinion, yes. I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm not going to tell you what you should do with your money. But my method is, my money, the bank is making more money off my money than me. The bank is making more money off my money than me, and it's my money. You know what I'm saying? So why would I put my money in a bank? If I'm going to let my money sit, I'd rather let it sit in USDC. At least I'm getting 5.68%. The bank ain't giving you nowhere near that. Bank ain't even giving you a percent. So if I'm gonna let my money sit, I'll let it sit in USDC for 5%. So let's say if you got $1 million, that's $50,000 a year passive income just for letting your money sit. You got some people that don't even make $50,000 a year, but you're getting that return, right? With USDC, you're not getting that in the bank. So I'd rather have my money working for me. My money is a tool. Your money is a tool. Look at your money like a soldier. Send each one of your dollars out to go recruit more soldiers. And when they bring those soldiers back, now send all of them back out to recruit more soldiers. That's how people get wealthy. People get wealthy by investments, investing into assets. People don't get rich from working. You got some people that get rich from working, but those people that work are big corporate tycoons that own millions of shares in some of the biggest blue chip companies that are out there. The regular, average, everyday Joe gets rich from working a job, active income, right? They take that active income and they roll it over into an investment that turns into passive income. All right. So I built a business, right? I made it successful. I built 2 successful businesses in trucking, moving company, final mile company, right? And when those companies became successful, I started investing, right? I had a plan for exit in 2025. The pandemic gave me an opportunity to exit 3 years earlier, with a better rate of return on the exit than if I would have waited to 2025, right? So boom. I started investing and I still invest, right? My money is working for me. You're going to have some days where things are going to be dormant, right? Things are going to be flat, we call it sideways, right? You're going to have days where you're green, you're going to have days when you're red. But overall, you're making money, you want a dollar cost average in. That's all I do is I just DCA in. I DCA in all my portfolios. I'm smart. I know the next wave is AI. So I'm buying heavy AI right now. When the wave was EV 3-4 years ago, I bought heavy EV. I made an egregious amount of money. In 2020 off EV, I made egregious money off Plug Power. I made egregious amount of money off Blink. I made egregious amount of money off CCIV before the SPAC merger, before they announced the SPAC merger. They were going to announce the SPAC merger that Monday. I exited that Friday. Why? Because I knew better. I knew it was going to tank that Monday because no one was going to wait for it to get 100. Smart money and institutional investors were going to start pulling out before. That's why I sold Friday. But I made an egregious amount of money. I lost on Workhorse, right? But I'm always diversified. So if something is not going good, my portfolios and my different portfolios, all of them are diversified. So if I got, let's say, my blue chip portfolio, if Microsoft did exceptionally well today because of the OpenAI thing, right? The OpenAI, they fired the CEO, right? The CEO of Microsoft was angry because Microsoft invested $12 billion into OpenAI. They like the CEO. So they were upset. So they hired him on with Microsoft. Microsoft booming today because of that news. So Microsoft is doing good, but let's say Facebook is doing good, great too. So Microsoft is doing good, but let's say it's a down day for Amazon. But Microsoft, Meta, and Google are doing good. So even though Amazon is doing bad, because the portfolio is diversified, I had 3 other blue chip stocks that did well. So what we lost in Amazon for the day, it really didn't matter because the other 3 blue chip companies did exceptionally well and made up for it, and then some. So you want to always stay diversified. So yeah, the answer to that is better to invest. For me, I think it's better to invest for anybody. Just know what you're doing. Don't just do it and you don't know what you're doing, because you're going to get, you might lose your money. You got to know what you're doing. You got to know the companies that you're investing in. You need to do research on them. You need to know what the trends are. AI is the next wave. That's why I made an egregious amount of money yesterday off Fetch AI. I've been buying the Fetch AI since it was 20 cents. It's projected to do around $9. Let's say you got 10,000 shares of it. It hits $9, that's $90,000. I mean, it's kind of getting up there now and touch like 60 cents. Right? So if you start buying in at 60 cents, and let's say you can get 10,000 shares worth, and it continues to grow up, your money is growing. You bought in at a 60 cent price point. So as it goes up, you're profiting. So the key is to buy early. You want to get in early. It's just like I said with the trucking thing. When it gets popularized, right, it's time to go, because it's about to come crashing down, because people are greedy now. So when people get greedy, be fearful. When something becomes popularized, the real money has already been made. If you buy it for 50, 60 cents, you buy it for 50 cents, say you buy 10,000 shares for 50 cents. When it goes to 51 cents, you made money. 52 cents, you made more money. 53 cents, every penny it goes up, you're making money. It touches $9. Your initial investment of, let's say, hold on. Where's my calculator? Your initial investment of $5,000. If you buy 10,000 shares at 50 cents, that's $5,000. And let's say it goes up to $9 and you pull out at $9, you turn $5,000 into $90,000. So I'd rather have my money in something like that than just sitting in the bank looking at me and I'm looking at it, and it's looking at me and I'm looking at it, and it's looking at me and I'm looking at it. But yeah, so artificial intelligence is the next wave. It's going to be similar to the wave of EV 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago. That's where the institutional dollars are going right now, and that's where you want to place your money. You want to have your money in other things too, but I'm heavy on AI right now. So because I know that's where the money is going, and that's what's performing exceptionally well right now. So let me see. Let me see. Let's see what some of these questions. Is Lucid still good? I'm not in Lucid anymore. I exited Lucid back in 2020 when I made my money. I'm actually entering a position in Rivian right now. I think Rivian price point is really, really good right now. And that's something I'm going to enter into, and I'm going to hold that for a long time. I think Rivian is going to be up there with Tesla. So right now, while it's still very, very low, let's see. I think it was like $19 when I looked this morning. Let's see. It's $16.93. It's $16.93. As they produce more vehicles over the years and get more market share, that stock is going to go up. That's going to be easily $100+ stock in a few years. So now it's the time to get into that. So that's why I'm entering into a position with Rivian. I like the CEO over there. I like what they're doing. Also, you got to understand, Amazon has invested a lot of money into Rivian. The electric delivery vans that you see, the Amazon electric delivery vans, those are Rivians. So Amazon has taken a stake in Rivian, and I'm invested in Amazon. So it's only right that I invest in Rivian, because if Amazon has invested in them, they're going to continue to invest in them, right? And now that they have vehicles on the market, the pickup truck and the SUV, I think it's the RS1S and I forget the pickup model. I like those vehicles. I like the CEO. I like the fact that Amazon's investing in them. I like the price point at $16, $17. I know this is going to be $100+ stock in a few years. Now it's the time to buy in. So Rivian is something that I'm going to take a position in soon too. Lucid, since somebody asked me, Lucid is a $4 price point. I sold Lucid in 2020 at $58. Now it's $4.34. Lucid is something that even Lucid is cheaper than Rivian, but I would rather invest in Rivian. I see more potential in Rivian than Lucid. I would add Lucid to my portfolio since it's cheap and just hold it. But I'm aggressively about to build up my Rivian. I want to get at least 100 shares of Rivian before it gets to $30. So I want to try to get 100 shares. So any other questions? Asthma Rolling, what up? Did I see Nvidia today? No, I didn't look at Nvidia. Hold on, let's see. $504. It's up $11.22 a share, up 2% on the day. Yeah, Nvidia is one of the ones I missed out on some years ago. It's something that I would like to have, but at this price point, I would have to wait for the market to I would have to wait for it to come down. If something were to happen, like some type of tragic event where the market would crash and I could buy into Nvidia at like the $250 price point, maybe $275, then I would start buying, but $500, I'd rather take that and buy more shares of Amazon or aggressively build up my Rivian portfolio, because I could buy more into Rivian than I would be into this, and I would see a better return on my investment because I can buy more shares and hold on for longer, because I know Rivian is going to perform exceptionally well throughout the years. This is something, Nvidia is something I kind of missed. You know what I'm saying? But I can see a Rivian hitting that type of price point. Why? Because Tesla was over $1,000. And then they had to do a split to get the price down. And I think all those companies are going to go back up. I think Rivian is going to get up there. I think Tesla is going to get back up there again too, within the next 10 years. You know what I'm saying? And those blue chip companies, those are companies that you want to hold on to for a long time. So Nvidia, if I were investing in Nvidia, this is something that I wouldn't even be trying to sell or trade. That's something that you just hold on because you know it's just going to continue to scale up. But I see it did good today. Let me see. Yep, Microsoft hit all-time high today because of the OpenAI debacle that's going on. The OpenAI debacle, anytime there's good news or bad news determines how the stock goes. Good news, the stocks go up. Bad news, the stock goes down. Sam Altman, OpenAI firing Sam Altman Friday, it was inevitable that Microsoft was going to either do good or bad. So it was a good play for the CEO of Microsoft to just hire him on with the development AI team at Microsoft. And then when the bell rung this morning, the market was a smart move because he was highly upset that OpenAI got rid of Sam Altman. I think a big reason why the Microsoft CEO bought in $12 billion into OpenAI, a lot of it had to do with Sam Altman. He believed in Sam Altman, not just the technology. He believed in Sam Altman. When you got a guy who invents new technology like Sam Altman, ChatGPT is amazing. And you're investing into that company. You're not just investing into the company, you're investing into that person. He's a genius. So to put 12 billion, not putting 12 billion to the technology per se directly, you're investing it into that person. You believe in that person. And that's why he said, Skip, if they don't want you, we already got 12 billion invested into OpenAI, we'll take you. And it was a great move, and because of that, the stock performed exceptionally well today. So, but this all goes back to like even business. See how I'm knowledgeable on what went on today in the market and companies and things of that. That's how I decide on what companies I want to invest in. Same thing with your business, your box truck business. You got to know what's going on. You got to be able to forecast. You need to know what's going on because you need to know how to move and shake. I don't care what nobody tell you, this, that, and the third. You got to understand economics. You got to understand business. A guy getting fired is going to determine if Microsoft does good or bad. So if you're a heavy investor into that position, this is something that you will want to know and keep up with before that bell rings at 8:30 in the morning. Because you might want to exit. Or you might want to do a day trade. You might want to play a day because Microsoft picked them up. It's going boom. Let me day trade this. Make me some quick money. Same thing with the box truck business. You need to know what's going on at all times. Do I invest in index funds like the S&P 5 or no? No. So I said for 2023, I'm going to do some index stuff. But right now, no, I don't do index. I do blue chip. And then I do my individual plays for the next bull cycle. So I got 2 portfolios. I got my blue chip, my long stuff that I don't touch. I don't even look at. I keep that over on M1 Financial. I don't even open it up. I probably looked at it one time this year because I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to do anything with it. And then my individuals are my plays that I set up and dollar cost average in for the next bull cycle. Next year, I said I'm gonna start doing some index stuff, and some ETF stuff. I've done ETF stuff in the past, but I haven't really looked into any ETF stuff this year. I know BlackRock filed for an ETF for Bitcoin, and I know Kathy Woods filed for an ETF, I think, with Ethereum. If the Bitcoin ETF gets approved by the SEC, that will probably be one of the first ETFs that I purchase since 2020. I haven't purchased an ETF since 2020. If the Bitcoin ETF gets approved, I'm definitely going to buy into that. But yeah, I'm going to look into some index funds next year. Somebody asked me about the Bitcoin ETF here too. How do I feel about it? I think it's good for the space. If it does get approved, I think it gives people because there's a lot of people that are still kind of shifty about crypto, especially like a lot of older people, like Warren Buffett. He's totally against crypto. So I think if the SEC approves it, a Bitcoin ETF, I think it'll assure some of the older investors like Warren Buffett and things like that, okay, crypto is here to stay. And I think a lot of institutional investment will start pouring more money into it. There's a lot of institutions that quite don't believe in it yet, but if the SEC approves that ETF, then you'll start to see a lot more institutional investment. And that's going to push that price up to ultimately that $500,000 Bitcoin. And then probably by 2030, 2035, that $1 million Bitcoin. The only way it's going to get there is institutions got to invest. I mean, you got Michael Saylor who has billions of dollars in Bitcoin, and look where the price is at. We need more institutional investment. But yeah, I think the ETF would be good for the space. I'm not invested into Bitcoin at the moment, but when Bitcoin drives the market, right? So when Bitcoin goes up, everything else up around it goes up. So all of my altcoins, my Ethereum, all that is going to rise when Bitcoin rises. You have some stocks that perform outside of Bitcoin, surprising, like Fetch AI is really outperforming Bitcoin right now. It did exceptionally well because the hype is around AI at the moment. But still, Bitcoin is the granddaddy of them all, and Bitcoin drives the market. So an ETF would be good. Cashed out my Tesla Thursday, down 20%. Tired of losing. Not sure what the next move is. Man, I would have held on to that Tesla, man. I would have held on. I don't know if you know, but Elon, they're opening up a manufacturing plant over in Germany. They're going to build a German car, a German Tesla. It's only going to be available over in Germany. So that's good news. The SpaceX stuff, I think, is going to ultimately help drive the Tesla stock too. Just anything centered around Elon. When he does good, his businesses do good. So by them going over to Germany, opening up a plant over there, creating a German-based Tesla over there that'll only be available over there, I think that's good. And some of the other things too, something that I'm not happy about because it's going to ultimately affect me. I don't like the fact that soon Ford and GM will be able to use the Tesla charging stations. But when that does happen, that's going to bring more revenue into Tesla. When the news comes, when that finally happens, that's going to ultimately drive up the price. So basically what I'm saying, there's a lot of upcoming events with Tesla that's positive news. And as these events begin to start happening, you're going to see that price go back up. Me personally, I would have held on to it. Tesla is something that is a long-term play. XRP is looking for an ETF too. Yes. I heard about that last week. You're correct. You're right about delivered a water heater off Roadie an hour after customer ordered. Crazy. Also, you're talking about the turnaround time. How I be talking about? Yeah. Yep. So you're seeing what I'm saying is correct. Like with these retailers, it's a race to who can get the stuff first, who can get the deliver first. Trust me, I pay stuff. I bought this piece of equipment for my streams a few weeks ago. I paid more because I wanted it today. I could have went to Micro Center and got it, but I didn't have time to go to Micro Center. So I paid more to have it to buy it. I bought it on Amazon because Amazon said they would deliver it to me by 5 that same day. So I paid an extra $50. It was on sale at Micro Center. I paid $250 because I needed it that same day. Because I got tired of my older one, which is the smaller one, and I needed the bigger one. And I said, I'm just going to buy it and get it over with because I like my live streams to be dope. And I'm always buying stuff behind the scenes to continue to make it dope. And I wanted it that day because I was streaming that day and I was willing to pay an extra $50 to get it that day. So customers think the same way, and the retailers understand that. So it's better to do satellite fulfillment in the stores as well as the fulfillment centers. But if we can do some satellite fulfillment here and we can partner with a gig app and we can turn the stuff around quicker and they can see that we can turn it around quicker on the app when they're price shopping or turnaround shopping, boom, they order it. It gets sent out to the gig. You're in the area. Boom, you go to the store and pick it up. And 9 times out of 10, it's going to summons you to the store closest to where that consumer lives, and then you'll be able to do that full pickup, drop off, turnaround within an hour, and that's what's going to win a customer sale for a retailer versus another retailer who may not be able to turn around that delivery as quick as their competition can. So, but yeah, I'm glad you got to experience what I was talking about. Other folks hear crypto and think you're scamming. And I kind of understand, and but that's why it's cool to be it's good to be an early adopter. Um, Listen, the SEC wouldn't have approved Coinbase to IPO if they knew eventually they weren't going to regulate it. Eventually they're going to regulate it. Like, it's inevitable, right? They're going to regulate it, right? If it was bogus, Coinbase wouldn't have never IPO'd. So, and that's why I think this bull run next year, going into 2025, I think is very important. And that's why I'm delaying my gratification. And I don't mind sharing this information with you guys because I want you guys to ultimately be successful as well. I think this next bull run in crypto will probably be the last bull run of the magnitude that this one will be. I think after this bull run, sometime within the next 4 years, we'll probably see some talk or some push towards regulation. And I think the bull runs to come will be under regulation, and you won't see parabolic 100x's and 50x's and 20x's, and you just won't see that under regulation. And obviously we're going in that direction when you got talks of ETFs getting approved. So I think it's imperative that people that are in the market really take advantage of this one, because we won't see another one like this. This is going to be the last parabolic one we see. So if you can delay some gratification and take all your extra money and invest it, that's what I would do. That's what I would do. How you feel about purchasing stocks based on dividends to possibly support your lifestyle? All right, so stocks that pay dividends, you got to have a lot of money, man, because those dividends, they pay, but they don't pay well. All right. So in order to really see passive income to support your lifestyle, you got to have, a lot of money, something that's paying a few pennies every quarter, if you don't have millions of shares in it, you're not going to really see no money. So the stocks that I have and one that pay dividends, those dividends aren't enough to support my living. I just don't have enough. I have a lot of shares in comparison to a normal person, right? Because I've been DCAing in for some years now. But still, you're talking about stocks that are $200 and $300. So to buy 1 million shares of that, you got to have Warren Buffett money. He's seeing money off his dividends because he's, these guys like Warren Buffett, Coca-Cola, he owns Coca-Cola. And the reason why I say he owns it, because he owns most of the shares. He owns a large portion of the shares of Coca-Cola, so he pretty much owns it. So when you got money like that, where you can buy billions of shares, then yeah, you're making millions of dollars in passive income based off the dividends. Regular average Joe Schmo. So yeah, I have dividend stocks, but the money that's made off those dividends is not enough to support my lifestyle. Yeah, see, like SD Walk said, lifestyle, you got to own shares of shares for that. You got to own a lot of shares to get those type of payouts on dividend. I'm talking about hundreds of millions of dollars worth of shares, billions of shares, billions of dollars worth of shares. Now, if you hold on to it and you pass that down for generations to generations, then you're, like he said, pure Peru, it's compounded. It's compounded. I know in my lifetime, my dividend stocks probably won't support my lifestyle. I will have better, I can do better let's say on crypto, because I know I can buy something like, let's say I'm gonna use a meme coin for instance. I had over 1 million Dogecoin at one point. I think I actually showed it too. I think earlier this year or last year we was on a live stream. I just went through my portfolio. I was buying 250,000 shares at a time, and this is before it was at a penny. And this is, this is just goes to show you that, whatever you do, you learn over time. I was going in 2019, 2020, I was buying in hopes that it will one day reach $1. I'm in the forums, I'm reading stuff. Oh, it'll never reach $1. The supply is too high, this, that, and the third, blah, 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 blah. But yet and still, it almost hit $1. I wasn't patient. So when we were coming around to the bull run, a lot of money that I had in Dogecoin, I started selling off Dogecoin and putting that money into other alts. And I did exceptionally well last bull run, 2021. The bull run 2021, like I made a lot of money. But I would have did a little over $1 million off Dogecoin alone if I wouldn't have sold. I had over 1 million. I still did good on it, but nowhere near what I would have did. I did 5 figures on it. I didn't even do 3 figures. That I sold that much of it, and I took that money. I sent some of it into VeChain. I sent some of it into Cardano. I sent a lot of it into Hex. I sent some into Ethereum, BTT. What else did I have? Gala, Hedera. What else did I have last bull run? I was heavy in Cardano, VeChain, Hex, Shiba, a few other coins. I just kind of pulled it out. But I know better now. I know better. So, now I dollar cost average in and I just hold. I don't listen. I sold something today. I actually converted shipping. And the only reason I own shipping is because I'm in logistics, and any logistics coin, I want to own it. Anything that is centered around logistics, so VeChain, shipping, but I just don't see a use case right now, a utility for shipping. So I'm like, listen, AI is booming. So let me convert the shipping into more render, right? Render is at $3 and something. It's running. Right, because shipping is it's not really moving, and I can always buy back into that. I can buy 100,000 shares of that for nothing. It's not gonna cost me no money. You see what I'm saying? So let me move this money over there. For that, I'll move money and take money on something like that if it's not moving. But something that I know that has a potential, that has a popularity base behind it, I'm not touching it. I'm just gonna thug it out. I don't care what nobody got to say, because I've seen that even the analysts and the specialists in this market can be proven wrong, because if someone gets behind it and it becomes a meme coin and it gets popularized on TikTok, like Dogecoin and Shiba, sky's the limit. I made a lot of money off Shiba. And to me, it's a meme shit coin. But, hey, here's the thing. If it reaches a penny next bull run, which it might, if it reaches a penny, I got 100 million shares of that. I got 100 million shares of that. I'm thinking about DCA and in to try to get to $1 billion. If it does a penny, I'm gonna make $1 million. And the only thing you gotta do is get to a penny. So that's how you get rich. You put your money into things that's working. You put your money into things that's working. It's not working in the bank. It's working out in the market, the stock market, the crypto market, real estate. You know what I'm saying? Investments. You turn your active income, you're running your box truck. You take a portion of that, whatever you can allot, but that's you should include that in your plan. Okay, boom. After all my expenses are paid, another thing I don't hear people talk about is your insurance, your health insurance, right? I'm gonna talk about that one of these days because people need to have health insurance. Nobody talks about their health insurance. Your health insurance, then you need to allot a small percentage. I don't care what it is, whatever you can afford, just something. Um, whether it's 5%, 2%, 10%, whatever you can afford into something, whether it's a solo 401k, whether it's a Roth, whether it's into the stock market, the crypto market, something. Let your money work for you. You can even do it to the point where your business has a portfolio. Your business can buy other businesses. Your business can have a portfolio. You can have your personal portfolio and your business can have a portfolio. Your business can buy other companies. I always say it. Why are you running for Amazon? I got people that are running Amazon. I make more money off Amazon and never step foot into Amazon, I swear to God, than some of your box truck people that run Amazon Relay. And that's a fact, though, because they say they numbers. And then I'm just looking at my portfolio like, dude, I did that last month. Never stepped foot in Amazon. Do I own Amazon when it was $2,000, $3,000 a share and it split? So if you're running Amazon Relay and you're not rolling some of that money in that's coming in back into the company, you're doing yourself a disservice. There's no way on God's green earth I'll be running Amazon Relay and I'm not taking a portion of my money and investing it back into the company. If you're out busting your butt, the little money that you're making, they're doing better off your work than you are. So don't you think you're entitled to some of that? Don't you want to own a piece of the company? That's just how I think. That's just how I think. That's just how I think. If I ran Amazon Relay, I mean, I own Amazon, so, but if I own Amazon Relay, I would definitely want a piece of the company. I have vested interest in it. Why wouldn't I want a piece? I have vested interest into this company. I mean, I'm in this bitch every day. That's why when I listen to these people talk and throw their little shot, I'm like, yo, bro, like, I'm making an egregious amount of money off Amazon and never stepped foot in Amazon. That's a fact. Never stepped a pinky toe in that bitch. So yeah, yeah, man. I wish everyone the rest of this week a successful week. I know this is gonna be. I know smart people probably not even running this week. You know, you don't want to get left at a truck stop. Wednesday, I had a subscriber last year. He got left at a truck stop that whole weekend. They sent him off. Who remembers that guy who ran from North Carolina to Montana this week last year? And he was coming in my live streams last year, this week, the week of Thanksgiving, like, man, the broker ain't picking up. He told me that if I take this load from North Carolina to Montana, he had a load for me coming back. And he just didn't answer the phone for him. So he was stuck at a truck stop for Thanksgiving. Yeah, so I know smart people probably winding down or headed home. You want to kind of be home by tomorrow. You know, you don't want to be a novice and get stuck at a truck stop taking a load and being far, far away from home Wednesday. So, you know, make sure you get home to your family. Don't do the goofball. I don't want to have to hit the you tweaking button. Just keep your head up. Be smart businessmen and women. You know, treat your box truck like a business. You know, it's a lot of, you know, I think one thing my channel has done is it's kind of exposed that a lot of people just really ain't running their business like a business, you know. So that is a good thing, right? Because if you're a smart business owner, right, these are the people that you're going to take advantage of. You're going to be a monster. It is what it is. It's a competitive market, and you're competing. So, if I were in your shoes and I saw that there was an overabundance of novice and just people that just aren't smart, I'm looking at this shit like, man, this is cake. I'm finna devour these cats. So that's how you need to look at it. You need to turn a negative into a positive and just, look at it more business like. Look at it more like a tycoon. Look at it more like a monster. Look at it more like I was watching The Wolf of Wall Street. That's one of my favorite movies. I fell asleep on it last night. I'm actually going to go, when I get off this live stream, I'm going to go watch it again. Every time I watch that movie, I just, I just learned something new, Not that I didn't know the things, but I just pick up on different things when I watch that movie. That's one of my favorite movies. I think that's next to Django. That's probably one of the best roles that I think Leonardo. Like, I really don't care for the Titanic. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of my favorite Leonardo DiCaprio roles. So, you want to be like the Wolf of Wall Street, but like on a positive side, you just want to be a very shrewd is the word that I want to use. You want to be a shrewd business person, shrewd. So that's the word of the week, shrewd. And if you got that van, that 16-foot box truck, man, make sure you got your butt up early Friday, so you can get out there and get that money Monday, and get that money, man. The year is gonna slow down. Obviously, Q1 is gonna be slow, but there's still opportunities. You just got to be a monster out here, man. You got to be a monster out here. Not sure if you covered it, but any platform you prefer, move to Fidelity after Webull, Chinese concern. For stock, I'm gonna be honest with you. For stock, I use M1 and I use Robinhood. When the market starts to go bull, then I'll start leveraging. I'll utilize leverage if need be. I know I used leverage in 2020, and I made a lot of money off their money. So they matched me dollar for dollar. So I use Robinhood. I've tried Webull. I really don't like Webull. So I use M1, right, and I use Robinhood. For crypto, I use Coinbase as the exchange. I use Coinbase Wallet. I use Atomic Wallet, and I use Trust Wallet. So, that's where I keep my crypto at. I cash out. The exchange I use is Coinbase. That's why I cash out at. Let me see. What's up, Roger Lacey? Yeah, no, I've ran across his channel a few times. Yeah, I haven't really watched him, but I've seen his channel a couple of times. I just haven't really, sat down and really looked at, listen to what he has to say. But I'll probably do that over the weekend. I'm gonna subscribe to their channel and hear him out. It's just every time I run across something with him, they always use that same sell me this pen thing. So I'm gonna check out his YouTube channel. Since you put that on fresh on my mind, I'm gonna subscribe to it and check it out. But yeah, I like the movie a lot. Salesman said I have good business sense. I just have to figure out which lane I want to head through. Just do your business plan. Make sure you do your market analysis. I think if I'm not mistaken, Salesman, I think you said you're in New York, if I'm not mistaken. So if you're in New York, you should have sky's the limit for opportunity in New York as far as local work. I think you'll be fine locally. So, but yeah, man. Yeah, guys, just be shrewd business people, and I think you'll be good. I wish everyone nothing but peace and prosperity. I want to see everybody win. I just think people just need to be smart. You know, that's all it boils down to. People just need to be smart, man. Um, Knowledge will get you far. Knowledge will get you far. And then as far as the other investments, like stop robbing from the sustainability of your business. Listen, you can build a successful business, active income, roll that into some investments that'll give you passive income, and you can retire early. You don't have to work 30 and 40 years and all this stuff. Like, we in a different day and age. We in a different day and age. If you bust your butt hard for 10 good years and you take a small percentage of that money every time you get paid in 10 years and you invest it, I swear to you, you will see that money grow exponentially to the point where you don't believe it's growing that fast, because you're investing money, and that money that you're investing is making money. All right. You just have to be smart people out here. And so that's ultimately what I'm telling you. I'm just telling you things that I've done. You know, I'm not selling nobody nothing. I'm not making you buy nothing. I'm just sitting up here telling you things that have worked for me. And I haven't seen anybody complain. Everybody that's applied my strategy has had nothing but good and great things to say. So I don't think I'm gonna do any more live streams this week. You know what I'm saying? If I do pop up, then I'll pop up. But I don't have anything planned. Thursday, I definitely won't be on because it's Thanksgiving. Friday, I'm thinking about maybe doing up to date Black Friday live stream where we're looking at the apps and we're seeing where the opportunities at. I might do something like that. So, and if I do that, obviously that'll be during the day. That'll be early in the morning through the afternoon. So I may do that. But other than that, this is pretty much it for the week. If I don't hear from you, if I don't talk to you guys before Thursday, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everybody for subscribing. Hopefully you had a successful year, and better days to come next year. Just continue to be smart business men and women. Till next time, happy Thanksgiving, guys. I appreciate y'all. I'm out.